皆さんこんにちは。Welcome to 英語ファイル。英検1級の語彙覚えていきましょう。今回もですね、5個オリジナル問題を用意しましたので、まずは挑戦してみてください。で、その後に英語で一つずつ解説します。では、早速どうぞ。Alright, so the 4 words and the 1 phrase that I'm going to teach you today have all been the answer on the real test once before. So there's a good chance that they're going to come out in the real test again. So let's take a look. The first word was perennial. So let me read the sentences. Japan's agricultural sector is struggling with a perennial labor shortage. All throughout the year, there is a need for more farmers. So the word perennial means existing or continuing for a long time. Let me show you a picture of the scene. Okay, so this is the best picture I could find, where there are no farmers. So one way to remember the meaning of this word is to break down the word. So per can mean like each. So for instance, maybe you've heard of per person. So that means each person. And the ennial half actually comes from the word annual, which means like year or every year. So if you put those two together, then you get per year or each year. So that's why it means something that's happening each year, every year, existing for a long time, continuing for a long time. Okay, so let me read one more time. Japan's agricultural sector is struggling with a perennial labor shortage. All throughout the year, there is a need for more farmers. So perennial, existing for a long time. Okay, the second word was compunction. Let me read. My husband has no compunction about being impolite. His insensitivity sometimes worries me. So compunction means a feeling of guilt. And it's often used in this phrase, have no compunction about. Alright, so let's take a look at the picture. So maybe he said something insensitive to make her a little upset. So one way to remember the meaning of the word is to have a look at the second half, punction. So does this remind you of any other words? For instance, puncture. So when like your car tire gets a hole in it, you can say that it's got a puncture. What about acupuncture? So that's when you stick like needles into your skin for relaxation therapy. And what about even punctuation? So those are like the periods and the commas and the colons and all those little symbols that we use in language. So what do these words have in common? Well, you could say that you're using something sharp, like a needle, in order to poke something and make a hole in it. So hole in the tire, hole in your skin, maybe a hole in the piece of paper to draw punctuation marks. So then, if your heart or your emotions are poked by something sharp, then how would you feel? It'll really hurt. So that means you'd feel really bad and therefore really guilty that you've done something wrong. So let me read the sentences one more time. My husband has no compunction about being impolite. His insensitivity sometimes worries me. Compunction, a feeling of guilt. Word number 3 is facetious. So here are the sentences. The professor's facetious remark made the student upset. She didn't think it was funny. So facetious means being funny inappropriately. Like when you're not supposed to be funny, but you say something funny. So let's look at the picture of the scene. Okay, so I checked the origin of this word, but unfortunately it didn't really help me to remember the meaning of the word. So you'll just have to repeat it over and over. Or maybe you could say a facetious remark about a face. So if you say something inappropriate about someone's face in order to try and make them laugh, then you could say that was a facetious remark. Okay, so face, facetious. So let me read those sentences one more time. The professor's facetious remark made her upset. She didn't think it was funny. Facetious, being funny inappropriately. Number 4 is impunity. Here we go. The celebrity violated her manager's rights with impunity. No one was able to punish her. Right. So impunity means exemption from punishment. That means they're not going to be punished. And this word is often used in this phrase, with punity. Okay, let's take a look at the picture. Okay, so I made this picture by mixing a couple of pictures together. So you can see the person seems completely happy and free because she wasn't punished by the courts. Okay, so I think it's quite easy to remember the meaning of this word. Because look at the I-M, so im. What does im mean in words like impossible? It means not possible, right? So remember im to mean not. And then the second half of the word is punity. So this puny bit, does this remind you of the word punish? So you can remember it like that. Okay? Im, not, and punity, punish, so not punish. So let me read the sentences one more time. The celebrity violated her manager's rights with impunity. No one was able to punish her. Impunity means exemption from punishment. So the last one is a phrase, hold water. My friend's argument did not hold water. It was full of holes, so I was not convinced. So hold water means true or reasonable or believable. But the phrase is often used in the negative, so not hold water. So that means something's not believable, not reasonable. Often because there's no good explanation or no good evidence. Okay, so take a look at this picture. I think this picture will help you remember the meaning of the phrase. So, if a bucket has holes in it, it cannot hold water. So it's obviously imperfect. There's something wrong with it. So in a similar way, you can say that someone's argument has holes in it if it's not perfect. And if an argument has holes in it, you're not going to be convinced by it, so you're not going to believe what they're going to say. So that's why if something doesn't hold water, there's something wrong with it, and you're not going to believe it, you're not going to find it reasonable. Alright, let me read one more time. My friend's argument did not hold water. It was full of holes, so I was not convinced. Okay, so let's go over the 5 new vocab items one more time. So I'm going to say the word, see if you can immediately remember what it means. So first one, perennial. Existing for a long time. Compunction. Feeling of guilt. Facetious. Being funny inappropriately. Impunity. Exemption from punishment. Hold water. True or reasonable. Alright, so make sure you review these words so that you don't forget. はい、今回は以上になります。今後も英検対策頑張っていきましょうね。それでは今日はここまでです。Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next lesson.